Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is just around the corner, and I don't know about you, but I am incredibly excited for this game to come out. And in today's video, we're going to be covering 7 reasons why I think you guys should be excited about this game, if you're not already, of course. And before we get to the list, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below, let me know why you're excited about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Let's go. Number 1 is playing as Sephiroth. Ever since the remake was announced, we knew that the calm flashback sequence was coming. I wanted to know, is Sephiroth going to be a playable character? Of course, it would make sense, and thankfully he is. Now, there's also a playable demo that's been released just the other day. It's awesome. You can kind of sink your teeth into how Sephiroth is going to play. He's not a fully playable character outside of battle, but that being said, you do get a taste of how effortless it is for Sephiroth to cut anything down that stands in front of him. It's totally awesome, and I love playing as Sephiroth, even though it's brief, but it just makes it a little bit more sweet. Number 2 is continuing Zack's story. Now, I'm a sucker for Crisis Core. I loved Crisis Core, and that game makes me bawl like a little baby. Honestly, it really does. So when the return of Zack was teased, I was totally blown away. How are they going to implement this? Of course, now it's implying that there's an alternate timeline. I'm interested to see how they're going to fit Zack into that story. Will there be any crossover? Of course, in the trailer that just came out the other day, there's a reunion between Zack and Aerith, although Aerith looks, unfortunately, a little bit lifeless here. I had tears in my eyes when I was watching this. I mean, this is an emotional moment, especially if you're a fan of Zack's character arc and storyline. So I'm interested to see how they're going to handle this, and where is Zack going to end up, and does he somehow cross over? I don't know. We'll find out. Number 3 is seeing the world in a fully realized 3D game. If you played this game back in the late 90s like I did on the PlayStation 1, and if you experienced it with those graphics back then, I mean, they looked good at the time, but obviously they haven't aged super well. So seeing this world fully realized on like the PlayStation 5 and the sheer scale of it is awesome. It really is. And also seeing the size of the maps as well. I mean, we were always kind of skeptical of how are they going to make the game work after the party gets out of Midgar. Is it going to be like a hallway simulator like Final Fantasy 13? Or is it going to be like semi-open world like Final Fantasy 16 is? Of course, you play in these smaller environments, smaller controlled environments, but this is huge. It really truly looks like you can go anywhere and do anything. And with the world being as big as it is, it gives you the opportunity to do more stuff other than just story stuff. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to try and take my time and enjoy every moment of this game. And I might even 100% it. I don't know. If it's a big world, I want to play in it. Now, before we get to the next one, I want to let you guys know that 97.7% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed. That is a huge number. So if you can consider hitting the subscribe button, it really does make a big difference for a smaller content creator like me. Anyway, on to the next one. Thank you for listening. Number 4 is experiencing some other important story moments. I'm really excited for Red 13 coming back to Cosmo Canyon, learning a little bit more about his history. I'm excited to meet Vincent, and hopefully they flesh Vincent's story out. And same with Sid. I wonder how they're going to handle that. Of course, Vincent and Sid have been confirmed as non-playable characters and support characters, but nonetheless, I'm hoping we can still get more of their story. One other one is Barrett and Dyne crossing over as well. That was one of the more important and emotional moments of the original game, and it helped really flesh out Barrett's character and establish him as why he is who he is. And that's an incredible scene in the original game, so I can't wait to see what they've done with that. Number 5 is some side quest content. Of course, with the size of the world being, I don't know, like quadrupled, is that even a word? But you know what I mean? Like it's going to be on a bigger scale, so they're going to have to fill the world with more people and of course more stuff to do. You can play the game with just straight story, which I might do, and I might dabble in a little bit of side quest content, but they're going to fill the world with a lot of things to do. Now, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director Naoki Hamaguchi has estimated that 80% of Rebirth's exploration-based content is side content, with the mainline story taking up the remaining 20%. That is absolutely massive. And of course, there's an estimated time of 40 hours to complete the game with story. So that would imply that there's over 100 hours of content. And that's awesome, especially if there's a 60-40 weight on side content. So you can really fill out the world and experience the world and get to know the world and everybody who inhabits it by doing all these side quests. And there's going to be extra stuff that you can get to, I'm sure, like summons and weapons and maybe costumes and stuff. The sky is really the limit. And of course, this is going to be the easy way for the developers to flesh out this game with side content. And that means side stories too. So with a JRPG of this scale, you can bet that there's going to be some great story content here that's not just fetch quests. Now, Number 6 is minigames. Now, we knew the gold saucer as the home of minigames in Final Fantasy VII, but wherever they're accessible, I'm excited about these minigames because, you know, even in the original one, I liked what Final Fantasy VII had to offer. Unfortunately, they're not doing any snowboarding in this game, which is kind of a shame, but I don't know, maybe they'll find in the third game a spot for snowboarding, but there's a lot of stuff. And then, of course, there's the new card game, Queen's Blood. Is it going to be the second coming of Triple Triad? I don't know. We'll see. But there's so much more here to do than, again, just story stuff like I mentioned before. There's so many mini games. That's awesome. And last but not least, for number 7 is the twist at the end. Will it be as it was in the original game? Personally, I have a few theories for how they're going to maybe end Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I'm not going to, you know, spend this time to speculate, but all I'm going to say is we know that this game is a remake of the original game, the original timeline. Some events will be as they were, but I don't think that this event here, especially with Aerith dying, is going to be as it was in the original game. I think that those characters, those key characters, Sephiroth and Aerith, have some sort of awareness of what happened in the previous timeline or the previous game. So I think they're trying to pull a Xenogears here and break the chains of fate and stop the same thing from happening again. So will Aerith meet the same fate as she did in Final Fantasy VII? I personally don't think so, but does that mean that somebody else is going to be up on the chopping block? I don't know. Based on the recent trailer that came out, I wouldn't be surprised if they made Tifa the scapegoat in this game. How devastated would you be if they kill off Cloud's love interest? I just realized that I said I wasn't going to speculate, but here I am speculating. I just can't get enough of this game, and I can't shut up about it. So there you go. There is 7 reasons on why I think you guys should be excited for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Of course, I'm very excited. I hope you guys are as well. So make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're excited about. And as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video. Ta-da!